Welcome back to my channel, Next in Food. I am your diva chef, Simone Walker-Barrett, and today I want to share with you another of my favorite Jamaican comfort food that I make for my family, and it is called a chocolate bread pudding. It's very simple. However, bread pudding is so simple, a lot of time people mess it up. So today we're going to be looking at the do's and don'ts of bread pudding. So when you're making a bread pudding, first thing you want is a custard. The custard is what sets the pudding. And what is a custard? A custard is made by combining milk or cream and eggs together with spices, and then that is what, because of the egg protein, that is what's going to hold the bread together. So today I'm using whole wheat bread just because that's what I have in my pantry. If you love white bread or hard-boiled bread, feel free to use that. I'm using chocolate, and this is what I like to call virgin chocolate. This is what we use in Jamaica to make chocolate tea. All I did was to just ground it up so that it's now in a coarse powder. We also need cinnamon and nutmeg, all of those warm spices to make the pudding taste good. We need some sugar for sweet. And today my little special ingredients that I'm going to share with you is a brownie mix. I like a chocolate bread pudding very chocolatey, so I oftentimes put some brownie mix in it. I'll show you how that is done. And of course, we need milk, and we also need eggs. We need, this is cream, but this is a rum cream, so this is where I'm going to get my cream and rum flavor from. You know, I'm Jamaican, so I can't not use the rum. If you don't like alcohol, feel free to leave it out and just increase the milk. And lastly, I like to put some Nutella because it just have a chocolate goodness. So let's make our bread pudding, and the first thing we need to do when we're making a bread pudding is to make the custard. So in goes 5 eggs. Then we're going to be adding the sugar. This is 1 cup of sugar for sweet. I'm also going to be adding in the cream, the milk, and the rum cream. Rum cream is totally optional, but I like the flavor of it. So if you don't have the rum cream, feel free to double up on the milk. And 1 big spoon of Nutella. And this is just a chocolate spread. This is also optional, but it really takes the flavor up. I like the flavor of it, and since I have it in my pantry, I'm just using it. So now we have the spices to go in. I'm just adding in a teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And then this, as I said before, this is Jamaican chocolate. This is what we use to make chocolate tea. I grate it up, and this is going to go in here. This is a chocolate bread pudding, so we want it to be very chocolatey. Now that all of our ingredients and flavorings for the custard is in the blender, I am going to blend it until it is smooth, and then I'll show you how to put the pudding together. Now that our custard is ready, I'm going to pour some into this container. The custard is chocolate because we're making a chocolate bread pudding, and we added chocolate into the cream and milk. So what I do now is add the brownie mix to about 1 cup of the custard. Now a brownie mix is something that you can buy in the store. It's very easy to find. This is just my recipe I'm sharing with you. So now you combine the brownie mix with some of the custard. Okay? Just use a whisk and get it mixed in. After that is done, you pour it back out in a smaller container. And this bread pudding is going to be chocolate, like decked by chocolate. It's gonna be so delicious. If you're into chocolate, you're absolutely going to love this. Then we pour the remaining custard into the container, and we're going to add our bread. Now I'm using whole wheat sandwich bread, very simple. And all I like to do is just tear the bread into pieces. There's nothing to it, and I'm using 12 slices of bread. Again, you can use whatever bread you like or you have. Just tear it up. See that? This is very, very simple. You can get the kids to assist you with this. And after that, you just use a wooden spoon to combine the bread and the custard. Very simple. Now, if you want the bread to be totally pureed, you could have just added it in the blender while you were pureeing the custard ingredients. But I like the chunkiness of the bread in the bread pudding, so I don't do that. I just tear it up or cut it with a knife, and today I just tear it apart. So this is our bread. Just add the remaining custard. There we go. So some pieces are going to be small while some pieces are nice and chunky, and that's all there is to the bread pudding. Custard plus bread equals bread pudding. Now I'm going to pour it into my 9x9 container, and this was greased. Just pour half of it in and spread it out, and then you pour the brownie mix over that. Now what I like with this, the brownie mix bakes alongside the bread pudding and just gives it that nice gooey delicious texture. And we add the remainder of our bread. So pack it in. And finally, the rest of the brownie mix. How simple is that? And this is the chocolate bread pudding that my family and I absolutely love to eat. If you want a contrast in color, as I said, you could use white bread, but I'm using the whole wheat bread because that's what I have in my pantry. And this is what our chocolate bread pudding looks like. I'm going to cover this with some foil and bake this in a 350-degree oven for 50 minutes, and then I'm going to remove the foil and bake it for a remaining 10 more minutes or so. Soon come back. All right, so the chocolate bread pudding is out of the oven. It took 50 minutes to bake, and isn't this an absolute beauty? Now, in our household, caramel is our favorite sauce. We always have it. So all I'm doing here is to just drizzle some caramel on top. Caramel goes very well with chocolate. And so we're gonna have this with some stout ice cream or rum and raisin ice cream, but we prefer to have it with stout ice cream. So I encourage you to bake the chocolate bread pudding today. It's absolutely simple and it's totally delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Tell somebody about the channel Next in Food. I am your diva chef, Simone Walker-Barrett. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.